Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, today we are going to deal with cause and effect relationship. Cause, that means you've got a cause and an effect consequence here, cause and effect relationship. So what does it mean? Cause and effect relationship means that an event, or a situation makes another event happen. See? Or in other words, so we have an event or situation which becomes an effect of something which is the cause. And we usually express this relationship here using different link words, of course. Due to, owing to, because of, and they are followed by noun or noun phrase or gerund. Because, since, as, and for, they are followed by subject verb phrase. And effect, so the effect is called effect link word, of course, as a result, consequence, as a consequence, therefore, consequently, and so on. And some other words is caused by, is the cause of, and thanks to plus now. There are a lot of words, of course, which you can use to express relationship, but we selected the common ones here. Now, concerning the form, so you've got two forms here. Either you start with cause, and then in the first part you start with the cause, and the second part you've got the effect, or you start with the effect in the first part, and in the second part you've got the cause here. So if you start with the cause, let's have an example here. We say, Muslims dedicated themselves to knowledge, therefore they conquered the world. See? So in here, this is the cause, this is the why here. This is the why. And here, this is the what happened here. This is the effect. Therefore, so effect link word, they conquered the world. So this is the consequence, the effect. And the cause here, because they were dedicated themselves to know. See? If you start with the effect, so we say, Muslims were the masters of the world because they applied their religion's principles to the letter. So in red here, this is my effect. So they were masters of the world. And the cause, it is because they applied their religion's principles to the letter. And the link word here, it is because. See, we see other examples, of course. Example number one, due to, owing to, because of. The absence of ethics. See, and since we started with the link word here, so you've got a comma here. So we have to separate the two parts with a comma. Many people see corruption as a normal practice. Or we can put them in the middle of the sentence and we say, many children leave school because of, owing to, due to the poverty of their families. So this is the cause, and the consequence, it's here, leaving school. In this sentence here, English language is learned everywhere because of it being attractive. Of course, we can say because it is attractive, because of its attractiveness, but we can say because of it being attractive. And since we have the same subject here in the two parts, English language and it, so we omit the subject before the ing form. So we say, English language is learned everywhere because of being attractive. Example number two, because since students don't revise well, they get average marks. So this is the effect, and this is the cause here. People buy copies for they are cheap. See the comma here before for? So for they are cheap. So this is the cause, and this is the effect here. But sometimes we said that you should use a noun or a phrase or gerund, of course, after due to, owing to, because of. But if you want to use a clause, so you have to add the fact that to this word. Example, Peter was absent because of his illness. Or we can say Peter was absent because of the fact that he was ill. See? Now, concerning the effect link words, of course, shoppers, example number 3, shoppers don't check expiry dates, full stop. Therefore, comma, they have food poisoning accident. See, the full stop here before the link word and the comma here after it. Children spend too much time in front of TV, full stop. Consequently, comma, they neglect their studies. So in black here, these are the causes, of course, and in red, these are the effects. Students don't sleep well before exams, full stop. So, comma, they put their health at risk. Example number 4, the war against the pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, is giving good results thanks to the sacrifice, now here, of the medical staff. Example number 5, school failure is caused by the carelessness of some parents. So the carelessness of some parents here is the cause, and school failure here is the effect. Or we can say school failure is the cause of many social problems. So here school failure is the cause and many social problem is the effect. But sometimes you may come across words like this, result from and result in. So what's the difference between? So in example number 1, respiratory diseases result from air pollution. So the cause here is air pollution and the effect is respiratory diseases. So in here, in sentence number 1, with the result from, we are expressing cause. In sentence number 2, air pollution results in respiratory sicknesses. So in here, respiratory sicknesses. So you've got, it is the effect, and air pollution here is the cause. In second sentence here, we are expressing result. Concerning the punctuation, so the punctuation here, you've got a comma before 4. And if we use the link words in the middle of the sentence, of course, so we don't use commas. Of course, if you start with the link word, so you have to separate the two parts, of course, with a comma. Concerning the effect link word, of course, therefore, consequently, so as a consequence of the result, so you've got two options. Either you've got a full stop, you put a full stop before the link words, and then you've got a comma, or we use a semicolon, of course, before the link word and a comma after it.